Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Again, at the cost of not attracting too many viewers, at the cost of a topic that is not trending, I'm going to again talk about MGNREGA. I'm talking about MGNREGA because I believe it is one of the most important programs that is being run in rural India. Now, the topic is that MGNREGA has run out of funds. The Rural Development Ministry has gone to the Finance Ministry asking for more funds, supplementary funds. Why do we run short of funds in MGNREGA? Why is MGNREGA not funded? Don't we have 6,000 crores that we can spare for MGNREGA? Let's ask all these questions. Let's get right into the show. So, 6 months into the financial year, the flagship Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, that is MGNREGA, that is Mahatma Gandhi Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, has run into trouble. They don't have money. They are short of 6,146.93 crores. They say we do not have money to pay wages. They've gone to the Ministry of Finance asking for supplementary budget. Now, the Finance Ministry and Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman says that, listen, you know what, MGNREGA is a demand-driven scheme and the supplementary budget will be made available whenever the need arises. She said that need arises, supplementary budget will be made available because it's a demand-driven scheme. जब लोग आएंगे, wages रहेगा, तब जाके हम पैसे देंगे. Now, the thing is, what one is given to understand, and what one understands from the source is that the rural development has gone asking for supplementary budget, but there is no word from the Finance Ministry. What are we talking about? We are talking about 6,146.93 crores. Now, the budget amount that was allocated for MGNREGA in 2023-24 is 60,000 crores. Which is 18% lower than the 73,000 crore budget estimated and 33% lower than the 89,000 crore revised estimate for the financial year 22-23. So, the budget allocation itself starts from negative. It is lower than what it was estimated, what it was revised estimated. Now, one wonders why is the government so hesitant when it comes to MGNREGA? Mind you, we are talking about 6,146 crores, and if one has to believe reports, we spend 4,100 crores on G20. I'm saying this again and again is because let me first try and tell you, before I get into why the government, I think, is soft pedaling on this issue and not so enthusiastic about MGNREGA and is hesitant to give MGNREGA money. Let me try and tell you why I am talking about MGNREGA and why I constantly talk about MGNREGA to you. You see, we are not a nation, we are not a welfare nation. We are not a nation that takes care of our unemployed or takes care of our disabled people or takes care of... We are not that kind of nation. We don't have disabled allowance. We don't have unemployment allowance. We don't take care of all that. The only thing we do is we have an employment guarantee scheme, which is MGNREGA, for rural employment especially, where rural people, farm workers, farmers, small farmers, farm workers can at least make enough money to eat. I have said this in many of my editorials that some of their children, the only meal they have is their midday meal in school, and I have done a complete report on midday meals. Please have a look at it. I'm going to attach that in this editorial. So, a lot of them eat rice and water. Now, these people depend on MGNREGA and the wages that they get from MGNREGA to have their 2 square meals. It's not about luxury. It is about livelihood. It is the effort to live. And that is why I talk, and I will continue to talk. Even if I have 2 viewers, I will continue to talk about MGNREGA. It is important. It is important. And the reason why I think, this is my personal view, the reason why I think that the government is hesitant whenever it comes to MGNREGA, because I don't see enthusiasm in this government at least to ensure that MGNREGA wages are paid. One is the government says that the state government, especially West Bengal and others, there is a lot of corruption when it comes to MGNREGA. The actual people do not receive the MGNREGA funds. Now, I don't deny that. It could be true. I do not deny that. But then, isn't it the administrative's job? Isn't it the government's job? Isn't it the central government and the state government and the administration and the CBI and all of these people's job that the money which is meant for the poor reaches the poor? And if it doesn't and somebody is pilfering it, isn't it the job of these central agencies which otherwise are going behind politicians? It is their job to come and check what is happening with that pilferage and how is it getting pilfered? Isn't it their job? This is the question I asked tonight. So what are we blaming each other? Central blaming state, state blaming center. If the money is getting pilfered, come together and ensure it doesn't get pilfered and goes to the poor. So this is the first thing that the government says. Now let me tell you what I think, like I told you, what I think. You see, there are certain things, there are certain activities, there are certain decisions, there are certain policies which are optically very beautiful. Beautiful, optically beautiful, and it's ideal to win elections and get votes. Ideal. Gala event like the G20 where you have all the leaders coming in and hugging our leader and our leader being the Vishwa Guru and all these things, make a lot of us Indians feel very good. Optically, it is beautiful. It is beautiful, and then the narrative of we being the Vishwa Guru, we being the world's powerful country and all that we can make and all that can be created, weaved around it. So possibly, our government is more bothered about those activities. Chandrayaan is a fantastic venture. I'm for it. But the point is, somewhere down the line, our impetus, our enthusiasm is for all those optical activities. Flagging of a new train, Chandrayaan, G20. I am in no way saying that any of these are not important. All of these are important. I am with it. And with all my heart, I say that all of these things should happen. But all I am saying is, with all this, MGNREGA should also be taken care of. Because our people will have nothing to eat. And my problem is that if a farm worker dies without food, or a farmer's child starves, nobody comes to know about it. Nobody comes to know about it. And if you are feeding them, nobody comes to know about it either. Nobody comes to know about it either. We announce schemes. We announce schemes saying that we are going to do this for farmers, we are going to do this for farm workers, we are going to do this for the poor. But those schemes are just announcement. Like MGNREGA, it was announced. We were supposed to pay them 100 days of guaranteed work. What happened? Paise hi nahi hai. What happens to the scheme? What happens to the promise? This is point number 2. Point number 3, I feel that this is purely politics. You see, what really happens for a farm worker, for a farmer, for the poorest strata of the Indian society, the poorest strata of the Indian society who we are talking about when it comes to MGNREGA. See, these people, they do not understand whether the money is coming from center or the money is coming from state. Whoever is more popular and whoever is top of mind. If the state chief minister is top of mind in these people, they believe that it is the state chief minister that is providing them with MGNREGA funds. If the prime minister is top of mind for these people, they will believe that the prime minister is providing them for the funds, their salaries. So for them, a lot of them, top of mind is always the person they feel obliged to, which is very sad because it is nobody's personal wealth that is being distributed. It is the country's money. But fair enough, the people obliged to and possibly therefore vote for and therefore support are people who are in top of mind. So maybe the chances are that a lot of people may not give credit to the center for the money that the center is giving the state for MGNREGA. So therefore, maybe the center is not very interested. Maybe. I am not saying this is what it is, but I am saying maybe. And I am forced to say all this is because I can't fathom why such an important program is not funded. It is not well oiled. It's not well funded. Why? It feeds our people. It doesn't pull them out of poverty, but at least it ensures that they live. Why are we not doing it? And the fact remains that we're not even aware of this. And most of us don't even care about this. Most of us don't even care about this. Until such time that we are not aware of it, we don't talk about it, and we don't care about it, no government would want to give that money. How does it matter? Kisko samjhega? Who is going to ask questions? Why should the government give that money? So, my humble request to the government is, please, this is the only welfare scheme that you have for the poorest of poor in this country. Do not stop it. Do not put impediments to it. Please let the money flow. 6,000 crores for a country like ours is nothing. Is nothing. Please give that money. And for my viewers and people who are still listening to this, which means that you bother, please talk about this. Please share this content. You please create your own content. Write about this. Talk about this on your social media. Let people understand that MGNREGA is important. MGNREGA is important for that child who goes to school only to eat his midday meal, for crying out loud. And that's the point I want to make. That's the family that needs this money. Please let that money go to them. That's the point I wanted to make. Till I see you next time. That's Monday at 10 p.m. for my editorial, and tomorrow at 9 for my opinion. Namaskar.